In this video, I wanted to see if I could get all of the onions before getting the Pikmin. I had to start the game 3 separate times to do this. At first I thought I was able to get all of the onions in just 2 files, but you do need to start with either the yellow or ice type when you get to Sun-Speckled Terrace. And since there are 2 yellow onions, you would have to grab the ice Pikmin twice, and then to get the ice onion, you would have to grab the yellows at least once. And in Sun-Speckled Terrace, I didn't show it in this video, but I tried to see if I could knock down the paper bag and continue without getting the yellow or ice Pikmin in Sun-Speckled Terrace. But the game does have an invisible wall set up so that the Pikmin won't actually go to the side where they can push down the bag. And as you can see here, I grabbed the red onion, which is the first onion in every Pikmin game. It's just always the primary onion that you get. And after that, I made my way to Sun-Speckled Terrace, and there I made my way to the Last Frost Cavern. I wasn't sure in this first playthrough if I wanted to start with the ice or the yellow Pikmin, but when I did get to the Last Frost Cavern, I did actually just explore the cave, the first level, the first and only sub-level of this cave, and I dodged the ice Pikmin along the way because, again, I wasn't sure if I wanted to get them or get the yellow Pikmin at first. But what I ended up doing in this cave is collecting all the treasure that I could, which was not enough to get the 1,500 needed to be able to continue and get to the next area, Blossoming Arcadia. But I did get a decent amount of treasure here with what I could, and I tried to see if I could get the Farlick, which actually I did do that later, and in a separate playthrough you can actually go ahead and get it without engaging in the ice Pikmin and unlocking them. I also tried to see if I could get that crewmate, but you do need to have the ice Pikmin with you, so really the Last Frost Cavern didn't give me much at all except for a little bit of sparklium. So after that, I of course returned to surface because I explored all I could in the Last Frost Cavern, and then I decided to make my way to the next cave, which is the Crackling cauldron. And in the Crackling cauldron, you can get yellow Pikmin. And in this cave, again, I wasn't sure which way I wanted to go, but I grabbed all the treasure that I could, and I grabbed the chalk eraser, which if you angle it right, you can actually get the red Pikmin to be able to pull it down, so you don't really need the yellow. But of course, they make it a lot easier because you can throw them higher. And so with that, after going through the Crackling Cauldron, collecting the little bit of treasure I could, and of course the enemies, I decided that I would go back to the Last Frost Cavern and unlock the ice Pikmin, because in my head I thought that what I could do is get them and get the yellow onion in Sun-Speckled Terrace. So in the Last Frost Cavern, of course, I get the ice Pikmin, and I grabbed the Farlick, and of course I grabbed the very first crewmate that we get, which is Russ. Now I needed Russ because not having the yellow Pikmin, I was not able to break down the fence. And with that, with Russ, you're able to buy the anti-electrifier for Ochi, and so I used that to continue on. So I didn't actually break down the first electric fence right away in Sun-Speckled Terrace with the anti-electrifier. I actually went back to Crackling Cauldron, I'm sorry, I just forgot the word for a minute, the name of the cave, and I broke down the fence there so I could continue with that and get as much sparklium as I could, because I wasn't sure how much sparklium I would be able to get without having certain Pikmin type before getting all of the onions. So with that, I wanted to make sure that I collected as much sparklium as I could, so there wasn't any backtracking, which there ended up being a lot of backtracking. I feel like more than there typically is for a normal playthrough of Pikmin 4. So I finished collecting all of the treasure that I could in this cave, and I actually had well more than enough to continue to get to Blossoming Arcadia. But I didn't go to Blossoming Arcadia right away. I actually headed back to Sun-Speckled Terrace so I could get the first yellow onion. I did think about going to Blossoming Arcadia, but I wanted to go back to Sun-Speckled Terrace and, of course, get the yellow onion. And I wanted to collect all the treasure that I could just to make sure, again, that I had enough sparklium so I wasn't missing out on anything. But here's the yellow onion that I grabbed. And with that, you bring it back, you fuse it, and with that, you have 2 of the onions down. And also, I wanted to see if I made enough time in the day to be able to get the blue onion, which I was able to, because I grabbed the ice Pikmin first, so I was able to go ahead and successfully grab the blue onion. So with that fused, that's 3 onions down and 7 to go. I say 7 because the other yellow, blue onion, then after that, ice, white, purple, rock, and winged. So then after that, getting the blue Pikmin, well, the blue onion and then the blue Pikmin, I made my way to Blossoming Arcadia. And at this moment, I felt like having over 2,000 sparklium with being able to get the onions first was a pretty good amount of sparklium. And so I finished the first day in Blossoming Arcadia by just getting the treasures and not going underground. And as you saw, I passed the yellow onion, the second yellow onion, because I want to be able to collect each one before getting the other ones. And I'm sorry, actually, before finishing the day, I did the first Dandori level trial run, which, as you can see, was pretty close. Barely beat Olimar there. Sorry for the spoilers. If you don't know, that's Olimar. We'll, of course, see him later in the video. But then after that, I had just enough to bring the first, I don't know what they call that, I guess, contaminated crew member back. And I didn't realize it until later that I needed them, which is required to get to Hero's Hideaway. But I made my way down Sightless Passage. I collected as much sparklium and treasure I could, which was only 425, wasn't a whole lot. Then after that, I collected more treasure, which actually gave me 4,000, so I was on my way to go to Serene Shores. And when I got to Serene Shores, that's when I realized that I do need to do the Dandori trials because I need to get Bernard. So you need to do at least 4 of them to get 4 contaminated crew members. I'm sorry, I forget what they call it in the game, but that's just what's coming to mind right now. So I did that, and then after, I made my way to the top of the sandcastle, because what I wanted to do here is, even though I have the first blue onion, I wanted to see if I could get the second one. Because if I could not get the second one without needing blue Pikmin, then to me it felt like this would be a complete waste, and either I'd have to change it up, or this would just be something I would not be able to accomplish. So we ended the day, and then I come back, and what I do, of course, climb up the wall. And I don't know where this thought came from, but I decided to throw a bomb rock at the onion. I thought either maybe it would break and maybe the water would go down, or it would at least bring the onion up so you wouldn't have to dig. But to my surprise, it actually did both. So that was actually really cool. I honestly did not expect that at all. So we're able to, I'm sorry for the spoiler ahead, but get all of the onions before collecting the Pikmin. But again, not just in one run. So after that, I made my way to Seafloor Resort, and I collected a ton of sparklium. I actually, for whatever reason, did not get everything. I don't know if I needed more ice Pikmin or not, but we had almost 7,000 sparklium. And then so I went down to Engulfed Castle, which of course I did not beat because you do need purple Pikmin so you can beat Water Wraith at the very end. So I didn't do that, but I did exit at sub-level 5. And I did not collect any purple Pikmin, which you'll see later in the video because we get the onion. But then that gave us well over the 7,000 sparklium needed. And as you can see here, we don't have Hero's Hideaway to go to. So I had to go back and do more Dandori battles, which I did the Dandori daycare. I collected Petunia, and then I started to do night expeditions, which I did 3 of them because the second one, I'm sorry, not the second one, the third one you get actually gives you 2 cures. So that was really easy. Those night expeditions were not difficult at all. In the later game, like the last few of them, they are insanely difficult. I don't know if Glow Pikmin will ever have an onion, but at least in Pikmin 4 they don't. So I went ahead, got those. I got Dash, Corgwin, and then I got Jin, and I also got Bernard, which of course gives us access to Hero's Hideaway, and that's where we headed to next. And when I got to Hero's Hideaway, what I decided to do was open up the bunker. So I grabbed one of the cards and then I just figured out what the other 2 numbers were. And with opening up the bunker, I did the Leafy Showdown, and as you can tell, this was a very, very close Dandori battle. It was so close, I wasn't even sure if I had to play it again or not. But I took this route because what I wanted to do was get the purple and white onion, and in that mindset, I completely skipped over getting the ice Pikmin. The ice onion, I'm sorry. So I started Olimar's Shipwreck Tale, which I did do. I'm not going to show that because that took me, I think, a few hours. So then I went through, I got through the cave, I did the 5th story. As you can see, I captured the white jewel, which of course is the white onion. And then I went through and I grabbed the purple jewel, the purple onion. This last floor, the 10th floor, I'm sorry, the 10th story, because Ochi was not as strong as Ochi could be, I want to say that took me at least 20 times before I was able to do it. And as you can tell, I did not have much time left. But here's the scene of course, the white onion fusing with the other onions. So that gave us blue, red, white, and yellow. And because I did it all in one go through, you're gonna see right here the purple onion fusing with those, giving us now 5 onions in total. And to me at this point, getting these 5 onions, it felt like I did the majority of the work. But I need to realize that I have to go back. I didn't realize, I'm sorry, that I had to go back and get the ice onion, as well as getting the other blue and yellow. But here's the cutscene right now for the purple, and then also I did the white. I don't know why I did it in this order, but I did. And I was thinking, as I did this whole 3 games to get all the onions before the Pikmin, with the introduction of each Pikmin and how they show that little information and then the Pikmin, I think Nintendo was hoping that you would find each Pikmin type underground first, because I noticed when they show that picture of them in the voyage log, you actually see all of them underground, well, with the exception of red Pikmin. And so with getting the purple and the white, I went to Giant's Hearth and I went right away for the rock onion. And so with that, you know, you have to beat Sovereign Bullblacks, which, having purple Pikmin with me, did not make this battle as tough as it was when I first played the game. But so I did beat it, Sovereign Bullblacks, and then I grabbed the rock onion. And with that, I believe what I did, and I don't remember, is that I used Sovereign Bullblacks to produce rock Pikmin. And so we get the rock onion, and that just makes it left for this run through having the winged onion. So that is 6 onions down, 1 more to go in this playthrough, and then I reset because I realized I don't want to go back and get the ice onion. I don't know what my thought process was, but we did get the rock Pikmin here, and then after this day, I believe I had enough sparklium to be able to go straight to Primordial Thicket. Now in this run, what I did, just like the rest of the areas, is I did not go through and collect more treasure because I had enough sparklium that I needed to complete this. So in Primordial Thicket, I just looked to see where the winged onion was, and I headed straight for that. And so with that, I grabbed it, and I had all of the onions that I wanted to in this playthrough. And I think, honestly, getting the purple and white onion was the toughest out of all of these, because I gave myself enough room to get all that sparklium I needed to, and not just try and head straight for the onions, because that would have made it, I believe, much tougher knowing I needed to collect a certain amount of sparklium. Just look at that winged Pikmin. It's so damn cute. I feel like in Pikmin 4, though, they really did nerf the winged Pikmin, which is fine, but how they used to, well, in 3, carry the treasure from point A to point B in a straight line, they didn't do that in 4. I'm not too sure why. But here I go, starting another save file, and I just made myself normal. As you know, you grab the red onion, and then I went straight for Crackling cauldron. I don't know why that's a tongue twister for me, but I decided to get the yellow Pikmin because I wanted to get the ice onion in this playthrough. And then of course I made my way, got enough sparklium, went to Serene Shores, blew up, I guess, this little puddle of water so I could get the blue onion. So now I've acquired that blue onion. Well, I got the yellow onion in Sun Speckled Terrace, so I haven't collected the second one yet because that would defeat the purpose. But now we only need the ice onion and the second yellow onion. I'm showing this cutscene here of the blue Pikmin because even though the onion showing being fused, this also shows that the blue onion and the blue Pikmin were grabbed here in Serene Shores, so it wasn't like I was cheating. I think that was just me creating that own mindset of, hey, I actually did it. But then I go through Hero's Hideaway, get through Frozen Inferno, so I could make it and get the ice onion, which I go ahead and do, and I actually just have Ochi charge at it and break the ice. And so after Ochi, of course, breaks the ice and this cutscene's over, we have this ice onion go back to base, and of course it fuses with the other onions I have. I think we're just red, yellow, blue. Yeah, just the red, yellow, blue. So that gave us 4, and then all I had to do after was collect the last yellow onion. So I went through and I made another playthrough. But here's the cutscene. Of course, the ice Pikmin. I feel like ice Pikmin are almost overpowered, but Nintendo balanced them really well so they don't attack nearly as much as the other types. I think, I don't know the exact formula, but I feel like maybe they're some of the lowest attacking Pikmin. And so I go through here, make another save file, go to Blossoming Arcadia, so I could get the last onion, which is the yellow onion. Go ahead, bring it back, it fuses, and I finally completed it. I tried to make this video as short as I could, but I don't know if I could trim this up anymore. Maybe I could have. I'm really not sure. This took me a very long time, but I feel like it was worth it. I don't know if there's another challenge like this in Pikmin 4 I could do. I've thought about maybe trying to complete the game with only Pikmin you get in caves without returning to the caves. I might do that another day. But if you've made it to the end of the video, I do appreciate that. And if you're new here, please subscribe. give me a like. Here's the yellow Pikmin, and until next time, take care.